definitely want to make sure to keep that in mind. Rain-free and cool for trick-or-treating. But again, these are temperatures that are close to normal for this time of the year. We do have light scattered rain in the forecast for Saturday. It's not going to be a washout by any means. Don't cancel any plans. Just keep in mind you may be running into a few spotty showers. And it is going to be a cool weekend, but it will be warmer next week. Your trick-or-treat forecast for today. This is a temperature near 69 degrees around 5, 64 degrees around 7. At this time, that's when it's getting dark. Sunset is at 6:38, and then we drop to about 57 degrees by 9. Winds are going to be light out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's the end of the week forecast with a high near 70 today. That front does arrive sometime around midday on Saturday. We'll see some cloud cover throughout most of the morning into the early afternoon with 20% coverage, high near 67. After that, the cooler air continues to filter in. We're looking at temperatures dropping into the mid-40s by Sunday morning, the coolest part of the weekend with a high near 68 degrees on Sunday. So you may need those jackets early Sunday. You may not need them for the afternoon. Okay, here's how the rain pans out. This is around 7 p.m. tonight. We start to see that cloud cover moving in and then eventually takes up more of North Texas as we head into the overnight hours. Any rain that we see overnight happens after about 3 or 4 in the morning. So a lot of this happening really in the morning time on Saturday. This is now Saturday around 7. You see some scattered rain in the area. Again, not widespread. We're not expecting downpours, just brief showers. Once this front moves in sometime around midday, you'll see a slightly better coverage to the northeast, maybe even some towards the southeast. I'm not expecting any significant rain accumulation either. Again, 20% coverage. I think a lot of this may not even reach the ground just because we are going to be a bit dry at the surface. So once this front pushes through, dry air filters in, you'll see sunshine for the afternoon. That's around 5. Most of the area will have already seen that cold front come through. By then we'll see the sunshine, and then those temperatures are going to drop as we head to the overnight hours to make for a pretty chilly night Saturday night going into Sunday morning. Reunion Tower right now showing a beautiful blue sky, 61 degrees. If you didn't see Reunion Tower get in on the holiday spirit, it was a jack-o'-lantern this morning. It was really cute. 70 degrees for the high in Dallas, 71 today for the high in Fort Worth, 69 for Denton, McKinney, Greenville, 68 in Decatur, mid-70s for our western counties. Big game tonight. You can catch it on WFAA Plus. It is free on your TV and free to watch. Naaman Forest taking on the Sexy Mustangs. Temperatures right around 64 degrees around kickoff. Definitely need the jacket halftime and later as temperatures will drop into the 50s. You know, when I used to go to Friday night football games, I always brought a blanket with me just because those temperatures really did drop once that sun sets. All right, temperatures are eventually going to climb into the upper 70s come next week. We're looking at upper 40s and low 50s for morning lows next week. So overall, next week looking comfortable, just warm considering it's early November, if you can believe that. And as we head towards the middle part of the month, that's towards the end of that 14-day, temperatures dropping back into the 60s with morning lows in the 40s. Rain-free for the most part, except for tomorrow.
It is a perfect day here across southeast Texas. Not a cloud in the sky, sunny conditions. Can't ask for a better forecast for our Halloween, especially as we head into the evening hours. It is going to be just that perfect amount of chill that is associated with fall. And it's the temps that we've all been waiting for the past few weeks as fall started. We were dealing with summer-like conditions for quite too long. But we are expecting another cold front on the way that's going to bring some storms with it heading into Saturday, and it's going to keep those temperatures cool, especially as we head into next week for the first half of the week. So as far as your Halloween forecast for this afternoon, a high of 72 degrees. We are going to see those winds out of the northwest between 5 and 10 miles an hour. When we head into the evening hours, we are expecting those temps to start cooling down into the 60s. I think it's going to be mostly comfortable, but as soon as we get closer towards 7, 8 o'clock, when that temp falls below 65 degrees, it could start becoming a little bit chilly, especially for the kiddos that are out there probably trick-or-treating, or if you're heading off to those Halloween parties that are happening today. We will start seeing it get into the low 60s, eventually dropping into the 50s during the overnight hours. So tonight's forecast, if you are heading to those parties anywhere across Harris County in Houston, Inwood Forest 50 degrees, 49 in Aldine, Acres Homes at 50 degrees, Homestead at 49. We are seeing a mix of between 40s, 50s. I think areas that are more on the outskirts of town are going to see some of those cooler temperatures. Usually the urban heating, the center of the city, usually gets temperatures a little bit warmer, but 48 for a low in Tomball. We are expecting it to be warm out in Galveston with a low of 65 degrees. So it's not going to be as cold, especially along the coast. So those current temps right now, if you are heading out during the early afternoon hours, we are in the upper 60s. I think this is AC weather. This is the perfect type of weather to have lunch outdoors, especially as we head closer excuse me, towards the noon hour. I'm so excited about the Halloween forecast that I'm choking over my words. It's okay. But we are expecting those temps to be in, those dew points to be in the 30s and 40s. But we're also going to see this dry conditions that are going to give us that fire weather risk, especially for today, as drought conditions are starting to increase, as we haven't had significant rain for the past couple of months, in months of August, September, and October. So moderate to severe drought now in place for Trinity County, and that's creeping into eastern Harris County, especially with the latest drought outlook. So here's the weather maker. Calm today, but tomorrow things are going to change a bit. We will see a passing cold front that is going to bring the chance for showers and storms with it, and we cannot rule out the possibility of a strong storm or two here across southeast Texas. That doesn't mean that everybody's going to have a strong storm. That only means that maybe some of us could see a passing strong storm that could pack a bit of a punch. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center is including portions of our area under a marginal risk. Of course, I'll show you that a little bit later. So as we look at our Saturday forecast, it's going to be between the hours of 1 p.m. to maybe 8 p.m. is when we're going to start seeing those storms quickly move through the area. It's going to be very fast moving, nothing widespread or long lasting. It's going to be a very fast movement of storm activity that will be moving into the Houston area by between the hours of 3 and 4. We could see that move already closer towards the coast. Eventually by 6, 7 o'clock, things are clearing out. We will have a fantastic night. Winds are also going to be a bit breezy, especially for tomorrow evening as well. So it's going to be just a tight window between 1 and 8 p.m. is when we could see those passing storms move through. And like I said before, Storm Prediction Center already including portions of southeast Texas under a marginal risk. That's a 1 out of 5. And so usually when it's a 1 out of 5, that means that we could see maybe a strong storm somewhere between Houston and Galveston, maybe Angleton, Freeport, but that does include a large section of Harris County, stretching as far north as the North Sam Houston Tollway, maybe 45 in the Spring area. From Spring to Galveston, likely could see maybe a strong storm. And that's the reason why we're just being extra cautious and issuing that weather impact alert for tomorrow, as it is the fall season. And a lot of us have been enjoying the fantastic weather, and we're just giving you this heads up right now in case you have those outdoor plans for Saturday afternoon between the hours of 1 to 8 p.m. I know we have fantastic weather, but we're also getting into this time of year where these passing cold fronts usually start carrying a little bit of a severe component with it. And so that is what we're issuing, that just to be extra cautious and just to give you a heads up that if you are setting out those tents outdoors, that we might see some breezy conditions, especially with a storm that does pass through for Saturday. So also keep in mind of the current burn bans. We're also dealing with some dry air. Those burn bans do include a large section of our counties here across the area. That does include Harris, Fort Bend, and Wharton. And there's some counties that this only applies to the unincorporated areas. I know Harris County, that's the unincorporated portions of Harris County, as well as Galveston County as well. I believe Galveston County, it's the unincorporated areas that are outside of the city that usually have those burn bans. So there's not really a fire risk for today. It's pretty low, as the winds are pretty light to just very calm. But just like I said, we have another cold front that's going to bring a dose of drier air in place for Saturday. It's also going to keep those temperatures chilly, especially for the first half of next week. So those lows, I think you're going to need those jackets heading out the door for each and every evening and morning, at least until Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not going to be until Thursday where we're going to see those overnight lows drop into the 60s. And so there's going to be a little bit of a warming trend, especially for the end of next week. But looking at the temperature outlook, fall may not be around for much longer. We might see a little bit of a warm up, especially for the first week of November. This is the temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center from November 6th to November 10th. And they're calling for above normal temperatures, especially for a large portion of the country, and that does include us. In terms of the tropics, Melissa is no longer a threat to anyone. It is racing off towards the open Atlantic. It is causing, it's now a post-tropical storm, and that still has some gusts up to 105 miles an hour, but it's moving northeast at 48 miles an hour. That is a very fast moving storm currently right now. That is racing off across the northern Atlantic, and that is totally different from what was happening when it was near Jamaica. It was moving only 3 to 4 miles an hour. Take a look at that moving speed, northeast at 48 miles an hour. I don't think I've ever seen a tropical system move that fast before, especially during this time of year. That's going to eventually move into the northern Atlantic, closer towards Europe, not really posing a threat to anybody, but it could bring some storms out into the UK or northern Europe there. But just keep in mind that we're just below that Category 1 strength, minimal damage if there is any boats out there. I don't think there will be. But of course, fantastic conditions here. No storms to worry about, at least for today. However, tomorrow is when we're going to start seeing that rain chance start ramping up. As far as your 7-day forecast, high temps in the low 70s. We are expecting a chilly night tonight, so bundle up and wear those jackets if you are heading out to those parties or if you're heading out trick-or-treating. I think you can't ask for a better day for Halloween to fall because it's a Friday. There's no school tomorrow, no work for some of us, but we are expecting a fantastic forecast. But if you are heading out tomorrow, just keep in mind that there is a passing cold front that will bring a storm or two with it as we head into those afternoon hours. And so just to kind of recap here what we've been talking about. Calm today, but we are expecting that weather impact alert for the first half of tomorrow. So just keep that in mind as well, that we are expecting those conditions to remain mostly just calm until this front passes. And so as we look at that weather impact alert, a few strong storms, not widespread, but just maybe a strong storm or two for some of us here across the Houston area. And that's going to be between 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. And we could see some brief heavy rain and some gusty winds with it. However, today, nothing to foil our trick-or-treat plans. We are expecting those conditions to remain mostly clear, sunny, temps cooling into the low 60s. Fall-like conditions. I've seen some leaves fall actually on my way in from work, just blowing across the roadway, and it actually reminded me just of fall. And we don't get that too often here across the Houston area. So looking at our next cold front, that's arriving tomorrow. That's going to bring a few of those showers and storms. It's going to sweep through pretty quickly, and we will see it bring some dry and sunny weather back into the forecast for the first half of next week. It's also going to be keeping those temps chilly and fall-like, especially as we head into the Monday and Tuesday. So future track, again, showing an isolated storm here and there. This could be a strong storm, but it's not going to be long-lasting. It's going to be a very fast-moving type of system that could bring some brief showers and some brief heavy rain to some of our area as we head into tomorrow afternoon. And it's the reason why the Storm Prediction Center is now including that area mostly from Houston to Galveston under that marginal risk, which is a 1 out of 5. So just keep that in mind as well. You might be doing some parties tonight. Just keep in mind, is your county on a burn ban, because we are expecting those conditions to still be a bit dry out there as we haven't had rain at least for the past couple of months. No significant rain, that is. I know we had that stormy day last Saturday, but just keep in mind that that was not enough rain to really help the drought situation for us here across the area. So just once again, 7-day forecast, great conditions today. Weather impact alert for tomorrow, not widespread. I think if you have those plans in the early morning hours, you're going to be okay to do that. However, it's the afternoon between 1 and 8 p.m. is when we're expecting to see that front arrive, and that could bring maybe a strong storm or two here across the Houston area. And don't forget, Sunday, we fall back 1 hour. You're going to gain an hour of sleep, especially into Sunday. So that's good news for that. And we are expecting mostly sunny skies, highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s. You cannot ask for a better forecast, especially as we head into the start of next week. We're going to once again start warming up into the lower 80s by Wednesday and Thursday, but for the most part, we are expecting it to remain fall-like here across the area.
This is a little scary. Look at this guy's face. Look at the way he's looking out of the corner of his eyes. Okay, here's your scarecast for tonight. Really, it's not much of a scarecast. Matter of fact, the evening tonight is going to be gorgeous. Yes, it is. Clear skies. Temperatures at 7, 69, 9 p.m., 64, and at midnight, I think right around 60. So if you're with the early set of trick-or-treaters, temperatures will be in the low 70s. So the earlier you're out there, the warmer it's going to be, and later cooler, of course. All right, clear skies. Temperatures in the 60s right now, 67. It's a beautiful day out there. The low this morning got down to 43. Of course, we didn't break the record. Record's 27. Now that's cold. And last year we hit 90 degrees in 2024 on Halloween. What a warm Halloween it was. Temperatures will be very close to where they should be for this time of the year. Clear skies, and out there this evening, clear skies. Temperatures for the most part in the 60s tonight. All right, low temperature 43. Yesterday's low was right at 40, so it's 2 mornings in a row really chilly. Up around Kerrville, 33 degrees. Did have a light freeze yesterday, but you can just see, I mean, it was one chilly morning out there. At least we didn't have much of a wind chill. We didn't have much wind out there. Temperature, we don't have much wind out there this afternoon. 67, Seguin 71, Floresville 72, and Victoria at 70. High pressures across the Arklatex and the northeastern portions of the state, really covering a lot of territory here. The whole state enjoying a really nice day, except for up in the Panhandle. Got some clouds there around Amarillo. High 76, Dallas-Fort Worth 70. Place to be is around Bismarck, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Boy, look at that. That's cold. Actually, we're the place to be. This is cold up north. These are the high temperatures. Minneapolis, St. Paul, 44. Buffalo, maybe a little snow nearby there in Buffalo, 48 for a high. Wow. Okay, we're going to have a quick system that's going to come in. I think we'll see more clouds tomorrow, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, but probably not much rain, maybe a 10% chance. I think better chances just to our south, just to the south and east. Could be a few thunderstorms for our far southern counties tomorrow. And then that system kicks out, we're back to an upper level ridge, and we're back to really nice weather. Too nice, really. I don't see many opportunities for rain over the next 7 to 10 days or so. All right, highs today, mid-70s, and then for the trick-or-treaters tonight, mainly in the 60s. Let me show you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we'll see those temperatures dropping in the 50s. It's not going to be nearly as cool as this morning, and then more clouds, I think. Probably overdoing it with this computer model, but partly to mostly cloudy skies, mid-70s for a high. Mold is 960 and moderate. Here's your 14-day forecast. Tomorrow for Saturday, 75, 10% chance of picking up a shower, and then Sunday is going to be a beautiful day. Don't forget to fall back, and then Monday, 78, and most of next week, I think lower 80s, lower to middle 80s, and we really start trying to warm things up as we head towards the 8th and the 9th. So anyway, we're going to see really a nice week next week, almost too nice. We need some rain.
We've got some beautiful conditions for trick-or-treating. This year won't be as warm. Last year we had 85 for our high temperature, so we were pretty mild last year. This year it's all treats here for our trick-or-treating forecast. Picture perfect weather. We're going to be right at our average as we top off with those highs. They'll be in the middle 70s, adding on an average day for what has been a well above average October. Now, before we finally tacked on 2 days of below average highs, we were actually tied for the hottest October on record. So Mother Nature finally kind of getting with the program here just in time for the last little bit of the month. We started off with another cold start this morning. Temperatures slowly warming up. We're in those low to middle 60s out the door. And again, we're heading into what will be those middle and upper 70s by this afternoon. Very quiet across the state of Texas. We still are tracking this broad area of high pressure that's directly overhead. This is contributing to that sinking motion of air, cloud-free sky. We've got this little front, though, that's extending from the Panhandle up through parts of Colorado. This is a front that's going to be shoved southward from a larger area of high pressure, actually building in Canada right now. This passes through the area and brings us what's going to be a very minimal chance for a couple sprinkles tomorrow. Most of us, unfortunately, we're not going to see any rain. I know we need the rain, but good news is, and the flip side is, if you have any outdoor plans tomorrow, including, of course, heading out to DKR Stadium, maybe doing some tailgating before the game, should be mainly dry for that, with maybe just a sprinkle in the forecast. That clears southward, high pressure builds back in, and we're back with sunshine for your Sunday. So rain chance wise, next 5 days, this is about it for the next 5 days. And as we head into the start of November, you'll see we've got a very quiet and then eventually warmer 7-day forecast as we head into the middle of next week. Out the door right now, blue sky and sunshine to kick off the day. Temperatures very nice. We're going to be warming up with those winds out of the south and east, likely going to be about 3 to 4 degrees warmer this afternoon compared to yesterday. Clear sky for trick-or-treaters heading into tomorrow, your Saturday, kicking off the first day of a whole new month, welcoming in November to a couple clouds, chance for maybe a stray shower, a couple of those showers out across the area. Rain chances, I will say, continue to come down. Our recent model data has been trending even drier with this rain chance as that front pushes through. Clouds clear and we're back with the sunshine by Sunday. Rainfall totals, couple hundredths of an inch at best. Again, it's not going to be much for us. 77 for a high temperature today as we head into tonight. Our sun sets at 6:44 p.m. 50 degrees for overnight low. Some 40s waking up in the hill country by tomorrow morning. And then here we go. Highs back into the 80s by Monday and Tuesday. We'll continue to warm up from there as we head into next week. Quick check on that allergy forecast. Grass and trees low today. Weeds and mold medium. Remember, we're turning those clocks back an hour this weekend. We gain an hour of sleep. We'll be looking at our sunset at 5:42 on on Sunday evening, and then we've got those hotter temperatures in the middle 80s by Wednesday and Thursday.
Excited to talk about Halloween because we are going to have picture perfect weather once again. Satellite radar nice and clear on this Friday, still morning technically. We go up into the upper 60s and then lower 70s here shortly. Going to be extremely nice. Would highly recommend lunch on a patio and or pick those kiddos up and spend some time outdoors. No matter where you are, if you could just enjoy a little bit of this sunshine, it's so good for you, and just grateful for this calm and quiet weather. Good travel regionally, by the way, no precipitation in sight. Do want to mention it's a day of layers. We woke up in the 30s and 40s this morning. It's really nice now for several hours, but quickly after the sun does set, we fall into the 60s again, and then eventually the upper 50s by 10 o'clock this evening. High temperatures on this Halloween afternoon. Going to be sunny skies in place. Light winds will return out of the south, only about 5-10 miles an hour, and between basically 70 and 75 degrees on average. 74 Waco this afternoon. If you are taking those kiddos out, going to be passing out candy, whatever you have planned on this evening. It'll be about 65 once the sun does set. And then like I was saying, 9-10 o'clock this evening, we fall back into the upper 50s. So it is going to cool down pretty nicely there. Wind chill values, by the way, tomorrow morning. It is opening deer season. So happy hunting season to those who celebrate. We will be feeling like about 40 to 45 degrees and be sitting in the upper 40s when we wake up. And yes, cloud cover is going to be present. So clouds sneaking in early on Saturday morning, partly to mostly cloudy skies. We go up to nearly 70 with a front moving across. So that is favorable for hunters. It will shake things up a little bit and get those animals moving. But anyway, we do have an isolated pocket of rain chance. This is going to be about 20-30%, peaking late morning to early mid-afternoon on Saturday. Very, very isolated if we're seeing anything on radar. Nothing like what we saw last weekend. And you can see those arrows moving nicely out of the east, northeast. All right, so we go back down into the 40s, not just Sunday morning, but daily, each and every morning. We start a warming trend and a drying one on Sunday. We are going to be sunny skies, winds out of the south, and go up into the 70s. And then we basically stair step upward from that with winds out of the south daily, cool mornings, and nice and warm afternoons. By the way, don't forget to roll your clocks back. We do that Saturday night. We wake up Sunday morning, and the time has changed. You could see a week from now. We will have a 5:36 sunset, and then we lose basically a couple of minutes of daylight every single week. By November 21st, which is 3 weeks from now, pre-5:30 sunset already. So things are drastically changing here, as they always do when the time does roll back. Again, just to recap things, right around 70, 75 into this afternoon. Winds will be calm to moderate, backing out of the south, winds out of the east, northeast. We do have that isolated chance to see some rainfall on Saturday. Again, not everyone sees it. It is going to be quick little spurts of rain possible. Now, we will have more cloud cover when we wake up on Saturday morning. So if you are headed off to hunt, whatever you have going on, yes, there's going to be more cloud cover. It can also be breezy at times out of the east, northeast with that front moving through Saturday. We roll our clocks back Saturday night. Sunset on Sunday is going to be at like 5:45 or just before that. So that's that drastic change. Now, speaking of change, you guys, we've had some cooler weather this week. Well, not the first week of November. We are going to top out at nearly 80 degrees daily, between 75 and 80 under calm, tranquil weather. So going to be really nice patio lunch days.
Right now we are talking about the 50s. That is the theme of the morning weather forecast today. In case you could not tell, we are going to talk about when we're going to continue to see the 50s first. So this morning we're actually cooler than the 50s across much of the coastal bend, but we'll be around 57 degrees tonight, 57 degrees into Sunday morning, and 54 degrees into Monday morning. We do start to warm back up into next week, so we'll say goodbye to the 50s and hello to the 60s once again. But right now, as I mentioned, we're in the 40s. 44 Corpus Christi, 47 Ingleside, 45 Sinton, Robstown, Mathis. So something that kind of happens this time of year is areas that are downstream of our warmer sea surface temperatures, you're going to get warmer temperatures. Meanwhile, areas that are not downstream of the water, you're going to get colder temperatures. So overall for Halloween, we're going to get up to 79 degrees at 3 p.m. and then those temperatures for trick-or-treating will be perfect right there around 71 to 66 degrees.